In the high mountains of ancient China, there was a great master of the art of archery, who, for many years, taught his disciples to handle the bow as art, mastery, and meditation. He had taught many students when a prince from a prominent family in the northern region of the country decided to visit him to perfect his archery skills. The prince was a strong-willed young man who didn't accept any teaching without a good explanation. The patient master taught him various techniques, and the prince was incredibly dedicated, training tirelessly without rest. His friends were astonished as the prince quickly became the most precise and sharp-shooting student. He was quiet and always practicing day and night. One night, the master approached him and said, "Huang Qiu, why are you training so intensely? Whom are you competing with?" "No one," replied the prince. "I'm just training because I want to become the best archer in China, and I will be." "Then," said the master, "observe how your mind is trapped in this desire, the desire to be better than everyone else. Why not simply perfect the art of archery and respect the great Tao? The arrow flows by itself. It requires no effort. Daybreak happens by itself, so does nightfall. No effort is needed. Where there is effort, the mind is involved, controlling. The flow is disrupted." "That doesn't matter to me," said Huang Qiu. "All of this is nonsense. I want to become the best archer, and I will. In fact, I see that I am already the best among your students here. Now I only need to surpass you. Once I achieve that, I will leave. My cycle here will be complete." "Then," the master said, "train more, train much more, and you will surpass me." And so it was. Huang Qiu trained relentlessly day and night to surpass his master. The other students distanced themselves from him as they noticed he always needed someone to compete with. This gave him a sense of power and challenge. One day, Huang Qiu approached his master and said, "Master, I feel that I have already reached your level. Shall we put it to the test?" "Yes, of course. Let's test your superiority," replied the master. "Then let's go to the farthest target and I will show you that I am ready." "Very well," said the master. "Let's go to the farthest target." The two of them headed to a large green field where the target was set up and ready for the two archers. It was a significant distance, and only a great archer could hit the target from there. Huang Qiu positioned himself and fired an arrow that hit the bullseye accurately. Not satisfied, he positioned himself again and released another arrow that landed right beside the first. The master was impressed and said, "Huang Qiu, you did very well, but you are still not ready." "How can that be?" exclaimed Huang Qiu. "I hit the bullseye from this distance. My shots were perfect. I don't understand what more I need." "Come with me and I will show you what mastery truly means," the master replied. The two of them walked along cliffs, ascending the mountains until they reached a fragile bridge connecting two peaks at a great height. Below them flowed a river, and the wind blew strongly, causing the trees and the bridge to sway. The master said, "You see, go to the middle of this bridge, and from there, shoot an arrow at that tree on the other side. I want to see your archery skill in these conditions." Huang Qiu was frightened. "I'm afraid of heights," he admitted. "This bridge is not secure. The wind is strong. Everything is swaying, and I could fall. Moreover, I can't even see the other side clearly because of the fog. This is nonsense. I won't do it. I'm a great archer. I don't need this kind of training in such conditions." As he turned to leave, he saw the master in the middle of the bridge, calmly and precisely shooting an arrow despite the challenging circumstances. Huang Qiu stopped, remained silent, and in that moment, he realized that he knew nothing about the path of archery. He saw how his ego had inflated, and he understood that true mastery is achieved not through technique and training, but through the emptying of the ego and the silence of the mind. It is achieved by the absence of effort and by being at peace, serene, and centered. The arrow follows its path effortlessly. When the master returned, Huang Qiu fell at his feet and begged for forgiveness for his arrogance. "Master, forgive me. I now understand what you wanted to teach me. I see that I was a fool, and it's not through the acquisition of technique and training that one reaches mastery, but through the emptying of the ego and the silence of the mind. By the absence of effort, and by being at peace, serene and centered, the arrow follows its path effortlessly. The master looked deep into his eyes and said, "Go, now you have learned the lesson. You are a true archer, there is nothing more to learn. The true archer shoots from the heart. The